So we're here on a Sunday, November 29th, about, I don't know, 11:30 or so in the morning, 11:11 in the morning. And yesterday we had an inch of rain, and off of this small roof I was able to gather about 25 gallons of water. Each of these are a little over 5-gallon, Home Depot buckets. And it's surprising how much water comes out of 1 inch of rain on a square footage of a tiny shed. And my 2-gallon bucket here, the watering can, I'm saying makes up for the little bit of underfilled 5-gallon buckets. But today the task is preparing for some winter weather we're going to get over the next week. On Monday, the night's supposed to go down to 27, so I want to protect the vegetables that I have in my winter garden here, and that's what we're going to go over today. I have 2 helpers. Sissy there on my left, Tucker here on my right. They don't enjoy too much being left alone in the garden for a while. Tucker being the vocal guy that he is. Yeah, he doesn't like the camera. Okay. Oh, woe to you. I know. You don't want to be in there. I know it. Well, anyway, here we go. Tucker, he's been a little impatient in here while I was preparing stuff in the shed. He pulled out, remember those nice basil plants that I showed you? Well, this little bugger, he likes to pull things out of the ground. He's still a puppy, 1 year and maybe 1 week old now. Okay. So the task today is to protect these garden vegetables from the overnight freezes that we'll get. They'll actually probably do pretty well up here anyway, but just for safety's sake, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover them with my ground cloth. And how I do that is I'll put this PVC pipe as a loop hoop over the gardens, and I'll show you how I do that. Now each one of these gardens, there are 3 of them. This is a 8x4, 4x4, and an 8x4. This one here will eventually turn from being a garden bed for vegetables into just being dedicated to this bay leaf plant. He is winter hardy, so I don't have to worry about protecting him. But I just wanted some good ground for him, and while he's growing up, I'll make use of the dirt around him for other things. This 4x4 garden has peppers, parsley, Brussels sprouts, and actually these guys coming up are more radishes. And here I see a surprise. Hey, Tucker, come here, buddy. Here's a strawberry. He loves strawberries. Want a strawberry, buddy? Buddy boy, come on. You want your strawberry? There you go. Ooh, you like that. There you go. Good boy. You don't want you don't want it, huh? You don't want it on the stem. Okay, I'll take it off the stem for you. Now we got a little dirt on it. Okay. Well, there it went down. Fussy little dog. There's my escarole. I made a nice sandwich with that yesterday and smoked tuna. Right, so that's the goal, is to cover all these gardens beds with the PVC hoop and then with cover for it. How it's done, I'll show you as I go along, but the supplies first. First, I'm using 1/2 inch PVC here. I have a whole bunch of stuff that's scattered about the property. Here I have several 1/2 inch by 8 foot long PVC tubes that I use for various things, including the garden. And the white ones are plumbing, the gray ones are electrical. Make use of everything, right? So they're doing double duty to be part of my gardening exercises during the year. The other thing that I will use are these short lengths of rebar that get cut along the way, and I have extra pieces left over, and I'll cut them in various lengths. You see one here that I use. This one I use for staking up, helping to stake up plants, okay? But it's a little bit longer than I need for supporting a PVC tube pipe. And how we do this is I'll take one of these. And first, let me show you what will happen is that I will insert one of these into the ground with my sledgehammer, bang it in, and it fits into the inside of the tube, PVC pipe, like that, right? So you have to get this, I don't know if that's 1/4 inch or 3/8 inch, whatever, of rebar, but it fits, the 1/2 inch PVC pipe fits over it nicely. Okay, so I'll bang it into the ground, and it'll look like this. You see how that is? And what I do is I put the PVC pipe over it like that, and that way I get a nice arch here on both sides. Several feet tall in the middle, and let's see how tall it is in the middle. Over the garden bed, about 3 feet. 3 feet high. So the whole thing from the ground is almost 4 feet, with 1 foot being the garden bed dirt height. And what I will do is I will have several of these along the way. I mark out every 2 feet. So here's the beginning, 2 foot. There'll be one at 4 foot, there'll be one at 6 foot, and there'll be one at the end 8 foot. So now I'll get to it. Okay, I'm back after a little while here and setting things up. About 2 hours. I had to cut more rebar for the pegs, but you can see how it goes here. I have 5 PVC hoops per 8-foot garden bed. And what I will do is, when I want them covered or uncovered, right now I can, as you can see, I can water now. But if I want them covered, I'll just grab the thing here, pull it over like this. I'll do it roughly. It'll be neater when I do it without holding a GoPro. Put a little weight at the bottom to keep it there. You know, sometimes this row cover gets holes in it. It's been around for a while. Pull it and you get it on a fence or something, but things like this are easy to take care of. Just a little clamp and that's good enough there. But all of the ends will be covered so that the wind doesn't blow stuff around. More like this one here is ready for an evening, even if it's a very windy evening. It's supported all around like that. He's ready for a cold night. You can have some holes in it. It doesn't really matter that much. You're mostly just trying to keep it a few degrees warmer in there and letting the ground heat from below. And this is, what things would look like before you put any row cover on. Save that for you to see. And this may be the row cover that I use. This one's been around for a long time. It's got all kinds of holes in it, but I have a whole bunch. I think I bought 100 yards of it 10, 15 years ago. And that's we're nearly done. Just a little bit more and I'll be ready. I'll leave it like this. I'll be ready for the cold, but I'll leave it like this until after the freeze passes, probably till Wednesday, and then it gets a little bit warmer. What happens here in central Texas is a cold front will dip from the northwest way down into Texas, and it'll get us, but it'll mostly get us overnight on a clear night. Tomorrow is supposed to be really clear, so the black box heating effect will just radiate all that heat out into outer space, and we cool off really quickly around here. And there's the rest of the house over that way. And my winter garden, this is what I call the upper garden, the house garden. These plants I'll move into the hothouse back there. You see it in the background, that hothouse. That thing is called, actually, the commercial name of that is Flower House. I think it was a good idea and a lot of work was put into it, but unfortunately the materials on the flower house can't last through many years of Texas sun. All these plants up front here will be put back into the flower house, and the door will be closed on it so that they can survive overnight. Well, here we are, about 3:30, 3:43 in the afternoon. And I've got this all buttoned up for wintry weather that's coming up. Got my little flower house all ready here. I have to put this blue tarp on because the door ripped. Kind of crummy workmanship there. Well, maybe not. It's actually put together pretty well. It's just that with stuff in there, it gets all bent out of shape, and then you got to stretch it, and the plastic ripped. So that's how the flower house works. And in the flower house, it's nice and toasty in there. Actually, but here is the gardens are all covered. Good use of my 5-gallon buckets full of water. Here's a flower house. There's old Tucker. And that ends this gardening experience.